Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are. Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel here with Enlightened World Network. We bring you a meditation every day of the year, and on Wednesdays, we do what's called meditation excavation. That's where Teri and I meditate. We invite you to meditate along with us, and we just share whatever spirit is sharing with us right at the moment. So it's really kind of like a channeling session together, but they're showing it to us in meditation. So please join us. Good morning, Teri Angel. I'm so glad you're here.
Good morning, Ruth. I'm so glad to be here with you. This is the only place I want to be right now. And good morning, everyone.
So let's go ahead. Let's get ourselves comfortable. Close your eyes. Let's remove any distractions. We're going to slow down our breathing, slow down our thinking, and just be receptive to what Spirit wants to share. And let's take a breath in and let's go down to our root chakra, which is at the base of our spine. And we're going to, with our mind's eye, we're going to envision roots growing out through the base of your spine, going down your legs, down the legs of the chair, all the way into the middle of the earth, Mother Gaia, just to ground us there. And let's just watch as that happens for a moment. So Teri, I'm being caught off guard a little bit because I'm seeing the roots going through a water table, and normally I don't see that. So just kind of curious if there's any symbolism to the water table this morning. And I'm hearing yes.
I'm feeling Gabriel, who brings the energy of water.
Wow. Okay, this is unusual. Teri, why don't you go ahead? Let's just bring in the spiritual divinity because we might be spending some time right here for a while.
Absolutely. Well, first, I would like to just acknowledge, recognize, and honor God, our Creator, whatever name you choose to call that highest being that is, and asking for everything that we say, do, see, feel, hear, give honor and recognition to God. I want to ask Divine Mother to wrap her arms around us and for Christ to be right at the center of this meditation. And then let's bring in the angels from the directions. We have Archangel Raphael, the angel of healing, the angel that brings in the energy of air, bringing a freshness and a newness to us. In the east is where everything begins. Calling in Archangel Michael, the protector. Michael comes in with the energy of fire to consume whatever it is that's not needed in our lives. And then from the west, Archangel Gabriel, who's already been very present with the energy of water. And water brings clarity. Water is a conduit for spirit to speak to us, to work through us. And then we have the earth energy, calling on Archangel Uriel to bring us deeper and deeper into the earth energy and to the very core of earth, which is a crystalline grid. And feel into that now. Feel into the energy of the earth and move that energy through a channel of light all the way up to the divine, to the great central sun. And we're asking any angels that want to be present. Maybe it's your guardian angel. Maybe there's a loved one in spirit that now you consider your earth angel. All the loved ones, spirit guides, whoever wants to be present today, thank you for being here. And let's breathe in that energy and see that channel of light moving from earth to heaven. Feel it in your heart. You are surrounded by angels.
Thank you, Teri. So, Teri, when you were talking about the crystalline grid, can you talk about that a little bit more? Because what I'm seeing is that, yes, it's so weird because I'm seeing the water, like we're standing in the water that they were showing us as we were grounding. But I also see this crystalline grid in front of me, like this huge wall, huge wall in front of me. And it looks almost like a spider web in the sense that you could climb up it. It's lit and sort of glittery. Can you talk about the crystalline grid?
Yes, at the very core of Earth, down in the center, is a grid. And Sandalphon is our angel that guides us with that grid. There's portals of energy. There's different vortexes along the Earth plane, along the meridian and the ley lines. And this energy comes up to us from the center of Earth. If you've ever been where a volcano, an active volcano is, there are holes with steam coming up from the lava. And this is what it feels like when that energy comes up from the grid, that it's just powerfully coming up from that center into our very realm where we are, where we're walking on Gaia's back. So those portals are placed around the world, and you can go to certain places that we know are huge vortexes of energy, like Mount Shasta is one. There's all over the world, like in Peru, there's a huge mountain that is full of that crystal energy. But as the crystals come up through the Earth's surface, we feel it more prominently. And when we ask Sandalphon, he brings that crystalline energy up to us all over the world. So we don't have to travel to a certain place. We can feel it wherever we are because we feel the movement of it. And if you're standing in water, water is that conduit. It's what brings that energy more fully into your being. So when you stand in water, whether you're in a shower or stepping into a body of water, just feel it. Just take a breath in. And let's do that. Let's envision the water pouring over us. What I'm going to envision is a waterfall coming off of the top of a mountain. The mountain is also full of that crystalline energy. So as the crystals come up from the earth, sometimes they do form a mountain. Sometimes they form a beach. There's a beach in Florida that's made of quartz crystal. So anywhere you are on the earth plane, there's crystals that have risen up from the center of the earth. And sometimes people dig down and get them. But the grid itself is all connected. It's all a pattern. And Sandalphon's the one that helps us to know which portal we may be entering. Which one are we going to sit in and really meditate and feel that energy coming into our being? And Ruth, I'm feeling a beautiful quartz energy right in front of me. And it feels like, you see the ones that are the points, the crystal points, where they come together at a very narrow pointed edge. And that's what I'm feeling with this quartz. It's not in any other shape other than that point going up and pointing towards the heavens, which there's also a grid there. But we're focused today on this crystalline grid coming from the Earth Mother. And it's there for all of us to enjoy and to learn from.
Teri, do you remember when the chimes say good morning? Do you remember when you were at Mount Shasta and I was at the Red Rocks in Colorado?
Yes.
And we did a special time together, and the energy was being connected from the two mountain ranges.
Yes.
I am being reminded of that time. And okay, that's weird. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that right now, wherever you are, wherever anybody is, that you make a triangle by seeing like Mount Shasta or another mountain range. And you're at one end of the triangle, and then find another mountain range. And I'm going to stick with the Mount Shasta and the Red Rocks because that works for me. But you see a triangle, and this triangle is energy, and you are one of the apexes. You're one of the points. And I think, Teri, this is about if everybody who's watching at their own time, whenever they do this, does this, then we're creating this secondary grid of energy above the earth.
That feels so good and so right.
Hmm.
And I feel Metatron guiding this whole meditation today.
That's funny. I was sensing Metatron earlier this morning. So there we go.
There we go. You know, people create a smaller version of this grid. You can make a grid and honor the energy that's coming from it and let that energy be lifting to you. You place crystals in whatever way they fall, whatever way you feel to place them, and then bring in that energy to yourself. And it's just a smaller version of what's going on underneath the ground, this huge grid that's happening throughout the earth.
So go ahead, Teri.
So as I was explaining the grid that you can create, when I create a grid, there's always a connecting stone. And I've got chills here. So the connecting stone goes to each one of the stones in your grid to connect the energy of it and to bring it up more powerfully. So Ruth, let's figure out what that connecting stone is with the crystalline grid that's in the earth. That's what I'm hearing for us to do.
And Teri, while you're sitting there with that, I have kind of pulled back so I can look at, like, as a witness participant. So I'm back further looking down on it. And what I'm seeing is this grid, but it's all triangles. And all the triangles are intersecting with the different triangles. And so there's this just beautiful covering over the earth of all of these intersecting triangles. It's interesting because normally when I think of the grid, I think more of rectangles or squares. I don't normally think of triangles. So this is a little different.
It is different.
So as I'm watching these triangles that are covering the planet, I'm seeing movement in them. And it's almost like a blanket that's being ruffled over it. And as the energy is moving, it's helping to release energy from the planet, from humanity. In a very positive, uplifting way. You know, when you're making the bed, Teri, and you take the blanket and you get air underneath it and it ripples.
Mhm.
That's what that looks like. It's funny, Teri, because you're being taken into like the micro of looking at something, and I'm being taken to the macro of looking at something. Teri, when I'm looking at this grid, it's interesting because what I'm seeing at the different apexes is, I don't even know if that's the right word, but that's the word I'm being guided to use, is different ascended masters on different points of the grid.
They are. There are masters that are over certain parts of the earth, different realms, and they help bring in the energy from that grid. So you're seeing exactly what's happening. They have what's called retreats. That's their different places, like St. Paul the Venetian. I'm seeing him right now at St. Louis, Missouri, going all the way up to Canada. So there's at different points of different vortexes, there's ascended masters that are bringing in that energy. And it has to do with the rays of light coming from the divine.
So if anybody viewing this is lost in this conversation, because this is a little out there even for what we normally share, Teri, just sit in the meditation and just see what you feel, see if you visually notice anything. If there's a favorite ascended master of yours, envision you going and sitting with that ascended master. Feel free to ask questions or just listen.
Yeah, I'm sitting with Sandalphon right now. It's Archangel Sandalphon. Those of you who may not have heard that name before. Sandalphon helps us with the earth energy and with that crystalline center that's down there. And I'm just asking who is or what is the connection that connects all the points, as that's how the grid is lit. And I heard very clearly that it's Christ.
I was just seeing Christ. That's fascinating.
Christ is referred to sometimes as the rock. You may have heard that. So that's the connecting stone. That's who brings every point to be connected to another point. That's who brings every person to be connected to another person. It's the Christ consciousness. I'm so glad you saw it too, Ruth.
Yeah. And I'm also hearing love.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes because of our upbringing or whatever, some people get triggered by the name Jesus Christ and they kind of struggle with that. So if that's a blocker for you, please replace that thought with love. That divine love is what is creating the connection between all of these points. I'm seeing that this crystalline grid can really kind of be your playground. You can move around it. You can go see the different ascended masters. You can sit with any of them. You can sit with Christ. What I'm also seeing, Teri, is as I'm moving around the crystalline grid, is that all of it emanates up in divine light. And I say up to the creator, although that sounds like the creator is not in us, but it connects to a greater expanse of divine light. And they're telling me, Teri, that there's more, that yes, this is what they wanted us to see, but there is something else here.
Mm.
Hmm. So, Teri, I'm on the outside looking at this grid, and I know there was something else they wanted us to see. So I asked, what is it? And then I saw on different points, different archangels. But what's interesting is the show of strength of the archangels. It's like they're lined up. And sometimes the archangels, when we're with them, they come across with different personas. And sometimes it's very, I'm going to teach you something, or I'm going to surround you in love, or I'm going to help you with healing. And what I'm seeing right now was like this show of strength. And in one of our meditations the other day, Teri was given, she was told to armor up for her. So goosebumps on this. She was told to armor up for her next steps on her spiritual path. And yet here the archangels are, and they're all armored up.
Ready for battle.
Yes.
Yeah.
And when you said that, They all like turned around and they're ready to be the front runners as we step into battle. And when you say battle, Teri, it sounds like blood and guts and gore, and that's not the intention here.
Not at all. Not at all. We battle every day. We battle our thoughts, words from other people, situations. So it's the struggle, the challenges we go through. It's whatever is that contrast in our life that's anything other than love. And we're always trying to find our way back home. But sometimes we have to go through the tough times. Sometimes we get through that and we're on the other side and we say, oh, now I understand why I went through that challenge. Now I understand what love is all about unconditionally. But sometimes we do have to battle. Not in the way that a lot of people think of that word, but it is. It's a definite fight that we do to get back to home, back to our home base.
Well, sometimes it's a battle of our own thinking or our own, our own thoughts, our own beliefs, our own emotions that we think have got a good hold on us. And
yeah.
But I am definitely getting, is this a message for us? Yes. Okay. The message that I'm definitely getting is that the archangels are with us and they are prepared to support us in whatever way as we face our own daily battles. They're the front runners.
I love that.
Yeah.
We used to just think of Michael as the protector. I know he has a legion of angels that just help us with whatever it is we need. But all of the archangels are front runners. Whether we're struggling with health, Raphael's right there, the head of the game. Or if we're struggling with just mental clarity sometimes, figuring things out. And Gabriel helps us with that. Might feel unbalanced. Uriel is always there, lending that hand to help us ground more and be more balanced and centered. All of the angels help. That's what they do. That's what they're here for.
Well, and I'm also seeing Divine Mother and Kuan Yin and Christ. I mean, it's just, there's so much support there for us. What an interesting way to get us to that point.
I know, right?
Holy cow. Holy cow.
Ooh. Yeah.
Having never left the realms of the root chakra.
That's where we all need to begin. To get ourselves centered and balanced and realize that we can't be knocked down unless we allow it. We'll go to those low vibrations if we let ourselves go there. But I'm reminded that a belief is just a thought you keep on thinking. So beliefs can be changed at any moment. Believe that you're stronger than you think you are. Believe that you're worthy and that you are enough, and you'll stand tall.
Well, and we think about the root chakra and what all it symbolizes, and it's your safety and security in the world. It's your finances and your health, right? And if you don't have that root chakra fortified, truly fortified, then it feels like you can just kind of, be thrown by the world. But wow, what a fortifying of that root chakra this morning. Wow.
So needed. I needed it in my own life. So the angels know, they always know exactly what we need. Put that smile back on our face and help us to put one foot in front of the other. Definitely.
Wow. All right. Well, thank you to the archangels and the ascended masters and wow, all of that. So friends, thank you for being here at Enlightened World Network. We are so excited to announce we are going to be doing the meditations a day for the 2023 year, and we look forward to having you join us. So take good care. God bless. We'll see you soon.
Bye.